live and pre-recorded. This is the Red Ticket Blues podcast. I am Brian Buckley. This is being recorded on July 11th to hit the internet on July 12th. You missed me. Yes, you did. Think about it. I haven't talked to everyone, and I'll explain why. I haven't talked to everyone. Let's see. We did a podcast with Scott Ryan at Bronx Pinstripes, but I haven't actually sat and talked to everyone since June 27th. Wow. And you're still okay, right? Well, the country's in shambles. I mean, that's obvious because of the lack of the Red Ticket Blues podcast, I'm assuming. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter at BrianBuck13 and at Red Ticket Blues, and listen to all the other Red Ticket Blues podcasts on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, YouTube, and Google Play. So, let's get to this. Yes, I quickly had to go to a family issue in Puerto Rico, and everything's fine, but internet issues and obligations to just family issues. So everything is okay, but lack of podcast. I'm sorry. Yeah. We talk to babies and dogs the same way, right? Oh, look at you. Oh. You go. Look, you want to eat, don't you? All right, enough of that 1980s shtick of bad, terrible humor on Comedy Central at 11 p.m. on a Wednesday. All right, so how's everybody doing? Like I said, country's in shambles. Racial strife everywhere. Let me be the 9 millionth person to do it after the 8,999 attempt to win the internet. Not all black people are criminals. Not all cops are racists. Everyone just relax, okay? Just relax. And I'm not trying to get 17,000 retweets to fucking pat myself on the back of my sanctimonious, just so I can go to bed at night saying, well, yeah, look at, people understand me. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying, come on. We got to be better than that. So enough of my social justice and commentary for the podcast, because sure, if anyone really wanted to listen to some real shit, they can listen anywhere else. So anyway, let's go. So I had to go to Puerto Rico. And I know everyone, if you listen to the Red Ticket Blues podcast before, you've known that I just love air travel, and I never complain about it whatsoever. So, but this time was different. That was a lie. I always do. So my wife and I would get out in Hartford about 5 o'clock flight, 5 a.m. Get to Philadelphia with the transfer there, and there's a decent amount of people drunk on the plane. 7 o'clock, and they were having a good time. A lot of loud noises throughout the takeoff. A lot of people not really locking the doors and go to the bathroom. I think I walked in on an old lady taking a piss, so that was fun. But the interesting thing that I always find, and I can say this, my wife's Puerto Rican, so I don't come off as racist. I was going to call her in, but I think she's watching something. I just wanted like an approval, like a stamp that I could talk about this. This may be everywhere, but maybe I'm just used to continental United States traveling. When you fly to and from Puerto Rico, lots of the residents in Puerto Rico, they have this thing about boarding the plane first, like immediately as you hear, whether it's in English or Spanish, it doesn't matter. The announcer saying, the announcer, hey, welcome to the airport. Oh, have a seat here. No, the flight, the gate, the booth attendant. They'll say, in a few minutes, we're going to start boarding here. And immediately, a bum rush of people, not even just waiting to hear their group, will walk right up, ticket out, let's go. We're in San Juan last night. And there are there's this family that was trying to board the plane before the plane that had just arrived had deboarded. The people were still on the plane. They were trying to get in. So what happens is, yes, trying to get on. And even as some people were walking off the plane, they're trying to get in. I'm not really sure the motivation. The plane is not going anywhere. And the seats are assigned. It's not Southwest where it's a cattle push and everyone just gets in and then they grab a seat as if there's some sort of proud accomplishment that they could pick up their own seat. It's really, I think it just screws with your head, Southwest. You suck. But what happens is when they're told that they can't go on, the flyers then sit right at the beginning of the gate where if you're called after them, you sort of, or before them, you actually have to finagle, like, excuse me, disculpe, permiso, perdón, and you try to get in there because they are crowding. I don't understand the huge obsession of getting on. You don't get to your destination any quicker. I've learned that. It does not happen. What I also was doing in the San Juan airport, I downloaded the Pokemon Go app. Now, I'm sure everyone's heard about how Pokemon is sweeping the nation. I remember Pokemon like 10, 15, 20 years ago, and I thought it was, I didn't know what it was. I downloaded the app, but I thought it was like a card game or something. You played in like the back room of like comic book stores with like black hoods on in the dark with candles lit. I didn't even know what the fuck it was. So I downloaded it, whatever, and I downloaded it actually at my wife's grandmother's house, and I caught a Pokemon. I said, oh, that's cool. It was on the couch. So I said, okay, I don't know what the point of this game is, but they said you have to walk around places. So, all right. What happens was I get to the airport. I don't understand how it's working, and then I quit. So yeah, I was really dedicated to the Pokemon game. I thought it was, again, I thought it was a card game or they were robots, because we all know like Asians love robots. I don't know what it is. So, all right, so he thinks he's Puerto Rican, he thinks he's Asian. This was the Red Ticket Blues podcast that downed him. No, but I mean, that's well documented that Asians love robots. I thought it was some sort of robot stuff. I don't know. But I downloaded the app, like I said. I deleted it. And now you see that this is just I want to say a global phenomenon, but the scary thing is it's not a global phenomenon yet. It's just this country in Australia. Wait till the rest of the world gets a hold of this. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're listening to this saying, what in God's name is Pokemon and how is it sweeping the nation? Well, it's basically, how do they word it here? I think I got rid of it. Shit. I wanted to use the correct term. An augmented reality game. Okay, so that means you turn your camera on your phone, you walk around, it uses your data, and there are little Pokemon monsters, or I guess they're monsters, set up everywhere. And you catch them. And people are just walking around mindlessly, staring at their phones, but in a different way this time. They're not texting, they're not on Instagram, they're not, looking at someone's terrible Facebook status from 2 weeks ago at a party that you didn't go to. No. They're looking for Pokemon. Yes, a Pokemon is they're little drawings, they're cartoons of animals. You catch them, and I don't know what you do with them. You put them in a storage unit, as if you're one of the Ghostbusters, I guess. And don't empty that storage unit. It's true, this man has no dick. Yes, Twinkies, all that. I guess this is a thing now, and unbeknownst to some people, some places, like I showed someone a picture of this guy's house, and it was called a gym, and I guess that's where people train to become better Pokemon players. And he showed a picture of all these people outside his house. So I don't know. There was also now you're already starting to see some people showed their battle scars, and I don't think I'd tell anyone about this. There's a photo by Justin Harrison shows the bruised shin of Lindsay Plunkett, a 24-year-old waitress, after she tripped over a cinder block that had been used as a doorstop while playing Pokemon Go. I don't know if I tell people about Pokemon injuries, but in a new segment called "Are You Worse Than Lenny Dykstra?" let's talk about Pokemon.
Dykstra has been sentenced to 3 years in prison.
This is no dirt, man. No dirt, man.
Pleasure to meet you. Awesome. Can't wait to be here.
Yes, are you worse than Lenny Dykstra? Because it's kind of tough to be worse than Lenny Dykstra. Yes, he's been getting a lot of news. The ex-New York Met, the ex-Philly, has a book out straight out of the clank. And he wants to tell you about prison. He wants to tell you about what a great guy he is. And all those 86 Mets and those tales. But we're going to leave up the part about bilking thousands of dollars out of his family, screwing old ladies out of money, having a less reputable car wash than fucking Walter White, and all sorts of other lies that Lenny Dykstra has told. So what does that have to do with Pokemon, Brian? Well, slow down and I'll tell you. So what happens is, there was, and this was, where was this? This was in O'Fallon, Missouri. We all know it well. There were three teens. What they did was, they said, all right, well, there's going to be Pokemon over here. Yeah, Pokemon heavy podcast so far. Everyone just relax. We'll move on. I swear to God. And they said, look, there's Pokemon over there. There's going to be morons that come there. And hence, they came. Boom, rob them. So they were all Shane Michael Baker, Brett Miller, Jasmine, James D. Warner, first-degree robbery, armed criminal action, all three being held. Bail set $100,000 cash only. So my question to you, are these three people worse? Are these three teens worse than Lenny Dykstra? I'm going to say yes, because I don't think there's much Lenny Dykstra violence, but that's on you. Are they worse than Lenny Dykstra? You tell me. Let's move on from Pokemon. All right. So we're at the All-Star break in baseball. Let's stay with baseball, and Lenny Dykstra's disgraced. Baseball in New York. So the Mets, a little bit of a whimper going into the All-Star break. Matt Harvey out for the year. And, if you listen before, we all know A-Rod's probably my number one on the hate list. Carmelo Anthony, 2. Matt Harvey, 3. But you don't like to see a guy going out with injury. Took the season-ending injury for condition that hurts some players. I don't have it in front of me exactly right now. It's kind of tough, man. 2 major surgeries in a very small amount of time for a young guy. Hopefully he can come back. He was obviously not the same pitcher this year. Had some of the worst numbers in the majors, and maybe he can get everything back together. And hopefully next year that can really help the Mets, help him, because listen, they're still a great team. Syndergaard's a little we're skipping starts. There's bone spurs, there's not bone spurs. Mets are being very, very cautious with their pitchers, because like we've all said before, this team is built on pitching, and pitchers are a big question mark at all times. And who's the most the one you can rely on the most right now? Bartolo Colon, Steven Matz. They got injury that I feel like he's a guy that's going to be injured and on the shelf off and on his entire career. DeGrom has been pitching better, but that's the Mets right now. The offense is tough to watch, but they're tied for second place with the Marlins behind the Nationals. So we'll have to see there. And, well, that's what we'll have to see. So, no, I'm going to skip that tonight. And the Yankees, well, I want all Yankee fans to listen up to me. Listen up to me. Listen up to me. I'm very tired, by the way, if you haven't noticed already, 9-10 minutes into the podcast. Got in at like 2 a.m. last night, went to work, and now I'm doing this podcast. So just bear with me, all right? Bear with me. And hopefully later on this week, we will have someone to talk who covers the Mets. Don't want to release the name because we're still working on that, but hopefully. The Yankees, I don't want anyone to fall for their charade, okay? They are where they belong at 500. Stop believing in them. I go back and forth, telling you not to worry about this team. They are what they are. We're now in the middle of July. They're 500, and they're so close to they're only like 7 games out of the wild card. I mean, but this team, we all stop. I mean, they played well against the Indians on the way out, and we said, I'm crumpling up my notes just in my disgust. My notes, my Post-it note of the Indians, and they're exactly what they are. They're average. They're 500. It's time to sell. Enough of the shit. Stop. Whoa, we're so close. Really? Do you have any confidence in this team? Who has confidence in this team? You? Well, you're lying to yourself. Stop it. The Yankees are like Miss Cleo. They're going to tell you good things. Do you really believe them? They're like a chainmail from Kenya. You have no uncle there. Do not believe them. They're frauds. Now they're sending all-stars, just like the Mets. The Mets are sending Syndergaard, Cespedes, DeGrom, and Bartolo Colon. The Yankees will be sending 3 constituents, and that is Andrew Miller, Carlos Beltran, and Dellin Betances to the All-Star game, which is Tuesday night. Wednesday night, you will not see any baseball. It'll be very difficult for you to watch it. Tuesday night, everyone will be wearing fancy cleats. It's kind of like the Super Bowl in a way. Everyone's really excited about products. Gillette razors. I'm here on behalf of them. They're really doing some great things right now. Like I really want to get behind their 17 blade system. That it's really revolutionizing the way I cut hair off my face. And you just heard Chris Berman before. I can't get in the home run derby anymore. I guess that's a kid thing. I don't know. In the All-Star game, I think the only thing I like about the All-Star game is when I was younger is when they like announced the Yankees or like the big superstars. I always thought that was cool, but I would probably not watch any of the Home Run Derby, and I would probably not watch any of the All-Star Game. Oh, look at you, Brian. Oh, yeah. Look at you talking down to everyone as if you're somebody. You're wrong there, because I'm nobody. Former New York Met Daniel Murphy continues to murder the Mets. I guess I should have talked about that in the Mets portion, huh? And Derek Jeter, huh? How about him? You get married, you got a ticket, that bad boy. You got a ticket for a noise ordinance or fireworks. He's such a badass, dude. I want to see see him on a motorcycle or something. He's got to be. He's a tough guy, right? His Valtrax and all that. What am I talking about? I'm surprised they didn't make that into a commercial or some sort of going away thing, right? Some sort of going away campaign. It could be him like being chauffeured to the post office to send thank you notes for the wedding. Then he'll get out and be like, "I'll walk from here." Boy, that would be inspiring. Yeah, Jeets. Yeah, go Jeets. Go. Nick Swisher, he decided to call it. I don't know if he officially retired, former Yankee Nick Swisher. But he took the year off after just rotting away in AAA. And through 17,000 injuries to first base, the Yankees made it quite clear, you are not wanted. We do not want you. And he decided, you know what? I'm just going to call it quits, man, for now. And, spend some time with family because family's number one. The same piece of shit, the same piece of human excrement that left his pregnant, he didn't leave his pregnant wife, but I'm just saying, he left his pregnant wife at home to go play baseball in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, AAA baseball. It wasn't about family then, when she was pregnant. The baby's on the way. It's okay, honey. I gotta go play for, the Scranton, Wilkes-Barre Yankees. But now it's about because he sucks. People continue to fall for this bullshit of Nick Swisher. Shame on you. Shame on you. You should be ashamed of yourself. I said that already. Tim Duncan of the San Antonio Spurs said goodbye to baseball today. Well, he didn't play baseball, so he said goodbye to it a long time ago. Again, I'm tired. He said goodbye to basketball, one of the greatest power forwards of all time. 5 championships. They don't make superstars like him. Very humble. There was no big, farewell tour or big announcement. It was a press release from the San Antonio Spurs. I think later in the day he did do some sort of thing with the Players Tribune, the ultra cushy outlet, so players don't have to answer questions or say things they don't want to say. Senior correspondent Matt Harvey. But we say goodbye to Tim Duncan. Never any controversies. I think the only controversies I can remember with Tim Duncan was he was possibly gay, and which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that the off the court issues. We won't even say the word controversy because okay, I understand. So off the court issues was that he was possibly gay, and then I think he flicked off a TMZ reporter once in a parking lot of like a Target or something, parking lot of somewhere. That's the only 2 things I can remember about him. Oh, and, well, it was on the court, but him getting thrown out of a game for laughing at a ref because Joey Crawford's insane. We say goodbye to Tim Duncan. That will definitely change the face of the San Antonio Spurs, but Popovich will, Coach Greg Popovich will see what else he can do with that team. Still some good players there. Signed Pau Gasol, little past his prime, We still have LaMarcus Aldridge, Kawhi Leonard, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili have some miles on them, but you never know what can happen. But the team they're really going to have to compete with out there, old news, but I'm going to tell you anyways, and that, of course, is Kevin Durant going to the Golden State Warriors. What a cop-out, bitch. A man can do whatever he wants in life. In the United States of America, you have the option to do whatever you want. That's what makes this country so damn great. But Kevin Durant, your credibility has left the room. It has flown out the window, out into San Francisco Bay. Because did Kevin Durant think about this? I mean, think about it. He didn't. The Golden State Warriors are coming off the most successful basketball season in the regular season ever. They were on the precipice of winning back-to-back titles. They went to Game 7, obviously, this year, that the Cleveland Cavaliers won. How does Kevin Durant make their regular season better? How? And if he doesn't, then what is he worth to that team? And you could say, oh, this is an old boring take, Brian. Yeah, well, you know what? I haven't done a podcast in a while, so screw off. But the playoffs, he has to win. He has to. And if he doesn't, Durant, let's be honest. The whispers are getting louder that, you know what? Durant's really not a winning player. He shrinks. He shrivels. He fades away. A la Carmelo Anthony. Hey, leave Melo alone. Melo's the same way. He gets the same knock. I don't know, Durant. I don't know about that one. I just don't like it. And his teammate today, Draymond Green, arrested. Oh, yes. Golden State Warrior forward Draymond Green arrested at a, I don't know where exactly, the street or a nightclub bar in East Lansing, Michigan. He is a former Michigan State alum. Well, I guess you're not a former. You'd always be an alum, right? He's an alum. Apparently somebody was heckling him in the bar and he slapped him in the face, which really isn't that big of a deal. And then NBC Bay Area, the NBC affiliate, said, update, breaking. Draymond Green has lots of parking tickets and parking violations in East Lansing as well. Holy shit. I'm surprised he's not in jail. I'm surprised it skips for the hell with due process. That man has parking violations. He's not like not Julius Randle. Is it Julius Randle? I always forget the guy's name. Joseph Randle, former Cowboys running back, who said he wanted to kill the deputy. Wow. That guy, I'm all over the place, but I don't care. He has been in jail since February because he doesn't have, he can't make bail. My God. Charged with a felony last month. There weren't many details. Threatening a deputy who was enforcing the rules. That son of a bitch. Sedgwick County Jail, where Randall is currently incarcerated. The dude was playing so... Anyways. Draymond Green, and it's funny. Draymond Green, he will have to face a judge next week. And we all know about his shenanigans of kicking Steven Adams right in the crotch. The name of that judge is Richard Ball. Yes, Dick Ball will be handling the case of Draymond Green. So, these jokes write themselves. These jokes write themselves. And staying in the NBA real quick, Knicks, Bulls, doing a little switcheroo, kind of, for the Knicks. They didn't really switch, but Knicks pick up Derrick Rose that we talked about last time, and Joakim Noah, which I love Joakim Noah, I really do. And they asked him, with so many offensive, weapons on this team, how do you think you fit in? And he said, whatever the fuck it takes. Very classy, dignified. No, it's really not. It's gonna be a lot more cursing on the Knicks this year. We'll put it that way. But the Knicks, they've added some parts. Courtney Lee, Brandon Jennings, Derrick Rose, and now Joakim Noah to go with Carmelo Anthony and Kristaps Porzingis. You never know with these Knicks. I'm not gonna say that they're gonna be a great team because Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah could be in traction by November 10th. So let's slow down there. And Carmelo, for that matter, too. That knee ain't getting any better. Let's be real. That knee is not getting any better. But you never know. They could be an interesting team. They could be a very, very interesting team. A lot of people going off on Summer League now. I swear to God, I don't know. I think listen, if your job is the NBA, I get it. By the way, enough of me just rambling here. Sweetwater beer. If you guys don't drink Sweetwater, then you need to. I'm drinking a Sweetwater Brewing hop hash infused double IPA. I've never had a bad Sweetwater beer, and that's out of Atlanta. It's out of Georgia. Yes, Atlanta. Okay, so just thought I'd let everyone know about that. I like it. Anyways, you never know what could happen with the Knicks. They will be interesting going into the 2016-2017 season. And I guess the last thing, again, I'm sorry. I apologize. This podcast went off the rails. I'm tired. I'm rambling. It's about as interesting as a feud between Zach Campbell and Marlins Man, which we met. Two superfans. We always want to hear superfans go at each other, right? All right. I'm getting tired here. All right. And the one last thing that I wanted to talk about that Brian was wrong again, and that is Dwayne. Screw that. Everyone was wrong about this. No one saw Dwayne Wade actually leaving the Miami Heat. That guy is about equal in popularity, maybe even more than Dan Marino in the city of Miami. Now, I get it. He's going home. Oh, great. He's going home to Chicago. Well, la-di-da. He's already the greatest father in the world. We have to hear about that all the time, and how he acknowledges his kid's existence, and all of a sudden we're supposed to give him awards and medals, But I cannot believe that, though. That's one move where, like, Heat fans and Bulls fans were just like, what the fuck? Wade still has something left, but, I mean, you have to realize he's going to miss, like, at least 20, 25 games. That's the way it operates. Now, if you want that peak Wade, you have to let him sit at the same time. So that's all I got today. All right. So R.I.P. Harambe. Remember, you can always listen to the show on iTunes, TuneIn, Radio, Stitcher, YouTube, Google Play. Follow me on Twitter at BrianBuck13 and at Red Ticket Blues. Remember to subscribe and like the show on iTunes, on all those venues. It's up to you. That's the freedom of choice that makes America great. Follow me on Twitter at BrianBuck13 and at Red Ticket Blues. So, with all that being said, I'm out of here.